What is up, creators? Welcome to the Friday live stream. This week we are talking about some live streaming tips to kind of help you start growing your live stream show, even if you are brand new. If you're new to this channel, my name is Diana Gladney. I am your hostess with the mostess, host of the Video Simplified podcast, and you probably can search my name just about anywhere online, and I'm starting to come up just about anywhere. LinkedIn, Instagram, at Diana Gladney, except from Twitter. Just screwed up the first account, so it's at Diana Gladney with the number 2. Other than that, anywhere you can find me at Diana Gladney. And so I wanted to do this stream because there are a lot of times when I get questions that come in about, when you're first getting started to create a channel, especially for your business, should you be creating live streams as well? Once I kind of get through the reasons why and the things that you should be doing when you're getting ready to do that, is because you need both. You need both the recorded dynamic and you need both the live stream dynamic as well. What is up, TBD? Good to see you. Glad that you are here. Good to see you. Good to see you. So a little bit of a, I don't want to say last minute, but somewhat of a last minute stream, if you will. Just because I wasn't quite feeling well these last 2 days. As you all know, I suffer with stage 4 endometriosis, so at times that can be a little difficult and a little challenging. But I said, you know what? I'm going to push through. I'm going to do the Sky Stern stream. Okay, so we out here in these digital streets. So, but yeah, I want to go through some of the live streaming tips, some of the things. It's very, very simple. And believe it or not, for those of you that will join, whether you're watching this live or on the replay, thanks for being here. And I will go to you all's channel and I will check out and I will listen to your live streams. And I've been bad about not commenting or anything like that, but I will pop up and I will check in. Kind of like how your mom would show up randomly one day and the next thing you know, you turn around and she's sitting in the back of the class. Or you see her come to the door depending on where you sit and there she is and you just like, your heart drops. You no longer have a taste for lunch anymore. You don't even want your fruit snacks anymore because your mom is sitting in the back of the classroom. But I'll check out you all stream. And so when somebody asks a question, again, if it's coming up enough times where I'm starting to wonder why are they asking this or what's going on, I always do what I call keeping your hand on the pulse of your people. Not only is it keeping up with the trends and the industry specific things in the niche, YouTube updates and things like that, or, new gear and stuff that may be coming out. It may be a little bit more helpful, but it's about staying in tune with the things that you all are challenged with. So if you're just starting a stream for the first time or just even a channel for the first time, you may be experienced in business, but getting into YouTube and the video side of things is starting to be something completely new and uncomfortable. And so when you start getting into live stream, once you realize the value that it has, in addition to recorded video content on your channel, the one thing that I'm seeing that a lot of people are doing, and this may step on some people's toes, but that's okay, because in the words of Charles Cap, gotta heal your toes. All right, so I step on them, I'll heal them, it'll be fine. But here's the thing, again, it's gonna step on some people's toes, and I am okay with that, because my goal is not to always, it's not to be harsh, but it's to be honest, and my job is to help, right? Avoid using countdown timers. Some of you guys are using countdown timers, and you are sucking the life out of your live stream and your channel is completely brand new. You are still growing a community. Even if you have a successful business, you're still growing a community, but you are introducing disruptions and distractions into your stream because you're starting it off unnecessarily with a countdown timer. The thing with the countdown timer was this. Countdown timers were introduced because for more experienced channels, it was introduced because you would have where you needed to wait. It was so many other things that would happen when you would start live streaming. Old school stuff. It's like one of those back in my day kind of a deals, but it's like It's like you would start your live stream. It wasn't, goodness, I don't know how old Ecamm was, but I know I wasn't on Ecamm. So I was on PC at the time. You would start your live stream and it was so confuddled and just disgusting. It was stupid because you would be live for like 30 seconds and you would never know. And so if you were live streaming through YouTube's platform directly, they were using Google Hangouts, it would be, you would always see every stream, okay, just waiting, all you hear is click, click, pecking along. And it's like, okay, now you see this, I'm looking around. And if you watch it on the replay, then you just like, what the hell are they doing? And so, and they're like, oh, we're live. And it's like, okay. And it's just like, yeah, we've been live. We didn't see our comment. Didn't you know? Or it's like, so it would be so ridiculous for you to start live streaming. So the countdown timers were to handle the buffering that would be from whatever systems, because live stream was not as easy 5 years ago. It just wasn't. Even if you were using like a webcam, USB mic, with the simplest tools, the software was not as simple. Like it just wasn't the same. And so if you use Wirecast, I don't know anything about Ecamm for at that time, but I would imagine it was still just as simple. But I just know the systems that were in between, just like if you just wanted to go to YouTube Direct, it took a while. So then when you had the marketers and you had entrepreneurs that were like, screw this, we already have a community and people that follow us in our Facebook business page. Why not just go there? And so you would see them go live and you would click in because you get the notifications. Next thing you know, you say, I'm just waiting for a few more people. Just waiting for a few more people. Hey, what's up? Good to see you, Susan. It's just like this. Hey, what's going on? Real talk with Nathabi. Correct me if I'm wrong. What's going on? I'm the Brown. Good to see you. Good to see you, brother. And it's just like, even though there's other people in the chat, it's just like, I'm sitting there. I acknowledge you. You came for a specific message, but I'm not giving it to you because I, the person that is doing the stream, I'm waiting for a few more people. I'm waiting for the validation that more people are going to show. And I'm waiting to make sure that when I deliver my message, that I want everybody that's going to hear it. Y'all know how I'm from St. Louis, so don't come at me with the here, there, all that, whatever. If I wanted to speak proper grammatical English, I would, but we're being lazy in language today. But if you think about the psychology around that, and just you as the viewer, because sometimes when you get into that creator entrepreneur seat, you forget all the stuff that you hate when you're searching for content and when you're consuming content. So again, it's going to step on a lot of people's toes, but as I've gone through some of you all that are in the community, and I've gone to your live streams, because I'll still have your channel from the channel review and the history, and I'll go check out a live stream. You're making this mistake. And this is eating away at your ability to have a productive live stream, because it's this equivalent of just quote unquote, just waiting for a few more people because you have a countdown timer that is unnecessary. And furthermore, stepping on some more toes, but y'all know I love you. I'm doing it in love. You'll introduce a countdown timer and we'll see the transparency. So you're sitting there and you're dancing and you're hanging out and you're kicking it and you're having a fantastic time. And I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like, people are here. We're here. Even if it's 3 of us, it's like, we're here. We're waiting. What are you doing? And furthermore, the countdown timer is like 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Should I go for a potty break? Should I go order some Subway? I mean, what are we doing here? So this is how, if you are starting a channel, if you have a business or anything like that, this is the equivalent of just waiting for a few more people. Now things are totally different. Live streaming is a much better experience for both the streamer as well as the audience. But you guys have to understand that if you are doing that unnecessarily, it's one thing if, like, I know I introduced countdown timers on my stream, because as I introduce new gear, things would be working fine a few hours ago. I sit down to do the stream and there would be no camera feed. What the heck is this? So it was more or less an introduced buffer as needed, but not because I'm sitting there and I'm just hanging out. It may be that file didn't quite download well. Just like I have a couple slides today just to show this. It's like, if this didn't show well, or if I wanted to show a new scene that I just made and say, okay, where it's more frame dominant for me and less frame dominant for the slide. And if I was switching between the two and this one didn't work, it's just like, crap, I'm supposed to start the stream, but something is awry. You now have to make a decision as to is this part of the stream important or not? Or should I just roll with version 1 that is working? And sometimes you make the decision to try to get everything working when it is just like the nature of streaming. Everything may not work and you have to be okay with that. So unless you absolutely need the countdown timer, unless it serves a purpose, you have to think about this. It's a couple things. And here's why I'm saying, like, you really need to avoid this. Number 1, why are they waiting? Which I just went into. What is the point of this? Is it because there's a tech issue or something? And at that point, utilize your chat and let your people know, even if it's 2 people, Let them know a cord came unplugged. I have no idea what it is. It's going to be about 3 minutes. And regardless, we'll just go with the webcam if nothing, but tell them where you're at. Like be, in communication with your audience. Number 2, the integrity of the replay. This is where a lot of people also make the mistake, and that live streaming kind of starts to get a little bit of a bad rep. Like people don't watch the replay of the live stream. Yeah, they do. All the time. I've had plenty of people that binged watch other content after the live stream, or they'll come back and say on a different video, not under the live stream comment box, but under a different video, and they'll say, saw the live stream, watched that, and now I'm stuck binging your content, and they're like 4 videos in. So people will watch the live stream, but you have to understand you need to maintain what I call maintaining the integrity of the replay. So if you have 4 to 5 minutes, hell, 9 minutes for some of y'all that are in the chat that I've seen and come to your streams, sneaking out, just peeking to see what's going on. You got these 7, 9 unnecessarily long live stream intros, more or less, where we're just waiting. We're hanging out. We're listening to music. I already have Spotify and Google Play Music, all the rest. If I wanted to listen to some jams, and I'm so daggone freaking nerdy, I'm listening to Chris Bodie. So I'm not even listening to nothing popular. So you got to understand the integrity of the replay is so that when somebody clicks back in, and if you're asking people to check out the live stream, do they have to skip ahead 9 minutes, or are they good to just start watching? This is also important because when you go to YouTube, yes, they will allow you to trim your videos, and they're even introducing more tools like clips and things like that. So you'll see on some channels pairs of scissors that'll show up, and you'll also see a couple other things that'll come into play here with like the YouTube shorts and all the rest of the stuff. But you have to think about this. When you are introducing something that interrupts the replay value of the stream, and you are now cutting that off to try to kind of help with that on the replay, you also get rid of that native chat that shows up on the side. And if you are communicating in a stream, and let's say you had a chat that was good, but you had that intro, then now all of a sudden your chat box on the side here is gone on YouTube. So they can't see that your community was talking. They only saw maybe the ones that you brought on screen, but they can't see the full dialogue. And that's honestly, for me personally, that's the kind of stuff I pay attention to, because it's other stuff that's relatable as far as the community or stuff like that that's going on in the chat and in the sidebar, and even questions and stuff that the speaker and stuff may not get to because they know the community is handling it. They're already taking care of it. So you have to maintain the integrity of the replay. And then the last thing is that you really haven't earned the weight that you're asking people to take yet. And this one is, again, going to step on some toes, but I'm okay with that, because if you haven't earned it yet, meaning that you don't have enough content to justify asking somebody to wait for you because they don't know what you're going to do yet. It's just like when people ask you and they're bashing you kind of like in their videos to subscribe, but they have 2 videos and one was 1 month ago and the other one was 3 months ago, and they don't post regular and they don't show up. And every other new video is why I've ghosted you, quote unquote, why I haven't been here, why I haven't been posting. And it's just like, well, all your posts is just like why you haven't been here, but you keep asking me to, we have to look at our behaviors. We really have to look at our behaviors of what we're asking our community to do. And this is also why it's important to have live stream content and recorded content, because your recorded content proves that you are trustworthy, that you are honoring of their time, and that you care about how you're going to communicate the information. Like you are putting it in a place that is something that is not only they can easily find or share, but that they can come back to because you explain something so well in a 5-minute video. They will trust you with 50 minutes. But sometimes you're asking people to trust you with 50 minutes and you just haven't quite earned the 5 minutes yet. Because if, again, in a 5-minute video, the first 45 seconds to a minute is just wasting their time. And here's what my channel is about. And here's where I got my degrees at. And I got 3 kids and 2 poodles. And shout out, that made me think of, what's his name? Brian G. Johnson. He's the only person I know that even talk about poodles. So no shade to Brian G. Johnson. He's awesome. But you got 2 dogs. You got a freaking turtle. You have 3 goldfish. Like, it's just like, what are you even talking about? I'm watching y'all's videos. You all are doing these things. Please stop. You're interrupting your own progress simply because you are not allowing people to get to you. It's like it's like the gatekeeper society, if you will, is gone. It doesn't exist anymore, which is why getting into any industry and becoming literally an industry disruptor is available to you by way of the internet and social media. The gatekeeper, when you would have to call the doctor's office, more or less, it's probably still there to some extent. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like certain industries to get into news and stuff, like nobody told Philip DeFranco that he could start talking on popular topics and have like a news show. He just made it himself. Now more people prefer to go to Philip DeFranco's channel on YouTube than they do to CNN. Because he's going to give an objective opinion or just say that person's an idiot. But you let me know what you think. And then you have dialogue and commentation going on in the at the bottom and stuff like that. And a community that's developed around current events. So you have to think about when you are doing this, do you have recorded content that proves that you are honoring of their time and that you will not waste it? Because in 5 minutes, I'm giving you 4 minutes and 38 seconds worth of good stuff. And the other part is just maybe an intro or something. Maybe an ad, hell, if you got one of those. But you got to earn it. The last thing, and then we're going to get to the chat and Q&A. So if you have questions, go ahead and fill it up now. But it's like the last thing that you also have to think about is get to the point. My Lord, get all the way to the point. The first, it was a tweet, then this, and I always refer back to this. And I wish I knew who initially said this, but it was just a tweet that I randomly was scrolling through on Twitter, and it said, if you said you really can just scroll past the first 30 seconds to any YouTube videos because they ain't talking about nothing. Ouch. I'm like, geez, wait. I'm like, but you're right. I'm like, you are so right. It is filled up with so much of this is who I am. This is what this channel is about. My 3 goldfish, my 2 dogs, my turtle, and I like to paint on the weekends. And what's it, the paint with numbers or the wine? And I don't know. I got some friends. All they do is like to go the wine, basically get drunk and paint something abstract art, right? And they'll go do that. You like to cycle. Shout out to India's Get Me Back on My Bike. It's you know, it's just like, I didn't come here for this. I came here to know about this chapstick versus that one, or this planner versus this planner / journal thing. And you telling me your whole life story in the first 34, like, I don't care. And if you are feeling like that when you are watching someone else's content, imagine how your community feels. And this is why I say, like, introducing at that point a countdown timer can be dangerous to your content, because you do not have a track record of getting to the point. Getting to the point sets you aside from a lot of people in your industry and niche. And if you aren't watching the videos of people that are in your industry and niche, please do so. And check out the comment section as well, because you will see what your viewers or potential viewers are seeing. People that are searching for content that's in the niche that you're in, you will see what they see. And you will also see what they complain about and what they're frustrated with and what they're upset about. And if you can scroll, and like when you're on your phone, you can just tap the screen and it'll go like jump ahead like 10 or 15 seconds or whatever. If I find myself constantly doing that across several videos, several topics, and I'm just like, I ain't coming back to the channel, because you're now developing a track record of wasting the time. It was a video that I wanted to watch, and I found this lady on Instagram. Her Instagram post said she had the answer for the question that I was looking to. She was like, go to the link in my bio. Fair enough, because you can't have links in the thing or whatever. It'd have to be an IGTV, I think, before you get a link. Go to the link in the bio. Link in the bio says, go to my Facebook page. I'm desperate. I go to the Facebook page. Facebook page shows a video. I'm not even joking. This is so serious it happened. Facebook page is a 30-second promo video about what she's going to talk about in the video. I'm desperate. You see the read more, expand option? I click it. Holy cow. She writes a book. I ain't even read it. Scroll to the bottom. Link finally to the freaking YouTube video, and trust me, I searched for the title and I could not find it on YouTube, which is why I took the other route and tried Instagram. Go to the YouTube video. I'm so pissed at this point because I'm desperate. I'm trying to do something. I go to the freaking YouTube video, and I kid y'all not, this is a 3-minute video, and at 2 minutes and like 32 seconds, she finally shows the thing that's like a 30-second explanation of that. I was so pissed. I didn't give that video a thumbs down because I try to avoid a thumbs down, but I'm just not coming back to that channel. Deleting you out of my history. YouTube, don't even think about even showing me this person's name ever again in life. That is the kind of stuff that some of y'all are doing, instead of just leading people to the thing that they want. Furthermore, if they get to the actual gosh darn video, holy cow, do they have to run a marathon before they even get to the point of the video? Also, quick thing I wanted to mention, and then we're gonna get to the chat, I promise. But the thing is that if you have a countdown timer or whatever, utilize chapters and just put on there where it say maybe it is 3 minutes or something, because I try to keep mine as like, what is it, 2 minutes 59 seconds or somewhere thereabout, like the least amount of time. The least amount of time is what I try to set the countdown timer to. It's like I only need, like, give me like 55 seconds or whatever, or give me 2 minutes and 55. Like I set it to the least amount of time possible, and I would set it there. But it's like, if you need to do that, if you add no other channel chapters, just do a start here, or stream starts here, where it actually starts. So that person, one, will see it on the timer. They can click on it or go to it in the description even and click on it and actually start the stream. Now, if you are not doing any of those things in your live stream and you're trying to figure out why your live stream is not working, check one of these few things that I listed off. Check one of these few things and see, is this happening in your live show? Is this happening in your live stream? Are you doing this? Another thing that is a whole other conversation. Do you have poor audio? Poor audio makes for a poor experience for somebody to listen to for extended periods of time. And when somebody is channel hopping, going from video to find an answer, you do stick out like a bad sore thumb when you're constantly the person that has room audio. And it sounds like you speaking at the back of the closet or halfway across the room. At least get some of these or something. This sound way better than just a shotgun microphone halfway across the room. I hope that y'all take that advice in your live streams, especially when you get started with a new channel, because otherwise, I don't know. I'm praying for you. Saying, what it do, Clive Vale? Doc, I'm sick of you. If y'all don't know, oh, this is so off topic. It is. I ain't even going there, Doc. We're gonna have to share that in the group. It's a joke though. So yeah, we're gonna have to share that in the group. But Clive Vale, the smoothest guy out there in them streets. What is going on? Real talk. And saying thank you. I appreciate that. My pleasure. What's going on, Devin Chambers? Good to see you. Glad that you are here. M3 Live. Good to see you. Good to see you. Ecam Live in the building. Good to see you. Courtesy. Hey, I'm rocking the shirt too. Saying I get live. Shout out to Preston Show as well. They handle all of my merch as well as Ecam Live merch now. So I'm telling y'all, man, one of these days y'all gonna sign into YouTube and say new store alert. If you want to get some channel members, whatever merch kind of stuff, go to PrestonShow.com out here in these streets. Saying perfect live stream topic this morning. Spoke Audio. Good to see you. Saying question, how do you feel about streamers saying, I'm going to wait for it? Listen, yeah. Is that a good use for a countdown timer? Hell no. Of all things, waiting for a few more people is to say, I don't care about the people that are here. If you are waiting for a few more people to join that's saying that you don't care about the people that are here. I already said initially, last couple days been a little rough, not quite feeling it. didn't start the stream or even schedule it for noon because I'm like, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to do this today or like have the umph to do it. I'm like, if anything, I'll do it at 12:30. Came in here, scheduled it for 12:30 and got the stuff ready. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it together. When I started the stream, there is a chance 0 people may show up. It's not scheduled. It's not at the expected time that usually you see it. It's a little bit later, but 0 people may show up. Furthermore, it could be a hell more interesting, more topic out there or a live stream that you want to see or whatever. And you just like, I'll come back to that. 0 people can be live or on the chat or in there watching it when you start. That has nothing to do with being able to get your show started. So it's more or less a way to distract yourself from the fact that 0 people are there or whatever. So I'm not for that. Phonetic spelling. Today and today for me to get it together. But sister, I will get it together. I promise you. Saying don't step on my kicks. Listen, shoe cleaning products are available at footlocker.com. Said I'm guilty of a countdown timer. Not transparent though. I feel you. What's going on? Alan Jones saying, hi everyone. Hope you all are good. Good to see you. Glad that you are here. What is going on? Bobby Loves Beauty. Glad to see you. Good that you are here. Saying you answered thoroughly. Saying we got rid of our countdown timer once we hired a designer to create an amazing live stream intro. Big shout out to Real Talk. Oh, hey. Fam helping the fam. Good to see you. That's awesome. Saying it's similar to long intros on not exactly. 100%. 100%. Saying Chris Bodie is a beast trumpet player, not woodwind player. Yeah, but we forgive him. All right, we forgive him. And you know what? It was a few years ago when he came to St. Louis. I was so mad. And check this out. You'll appreciate this. Musicians anywhere. Yeah, y'all know who Chris Bodie is. But it's like he came to St. Louis and it was like a few days I had just missed his concert. And I was so pissed about it. And then there was a book fair, of course. And they had brand new Chris Bodie CDs. And I'm like, y'all don't even know what you are giving away. It was like 50 cents or $1 or something, completely brand new, no scratches on the CD. I said, we are going to put these to work. It was amazing. Love it. What's going on? SK's Crappy Catching Adventures. Good to see you. Saying y'all hit that like button 100%. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Meg's in the house. Saying I thought I was the only one that thought timers defeated the purpose of going live. Yeah, it definitely is a distraction to it if you don't need it. If you don't need it. Saying I'm on Yo-Yo Ma 2015. See, now listen, we was talking about Yo-Yo Ma yesterday. Yeah, Yo-Yo Ma, he's the man. Saying you don't watch my vids. You are right. Yes. I said some of y'all. Some. Hear the S. Some of y'all. You are absolutely correcto. Because it's just some things, creepy things I can't. I'm sorry. Saying keeping it real. My best friend tells me the truth. That's why they are my real friends. Thank you, Lady D. 100%. Say if they love you, they'll tell you the truth. You know what I always hated in college though? Is the people that they would have something on their face, breath not quite presentable, and they just letting them roam about the campus. Like, whoa, did you go to second and first period like that? Brother, let me. I always had gum. Like, here, take 2 of these and call me in the morning, shoot, because you need some prayer. All right, little prayer across the region here. You know what I'm saying? I'm still jealous of your audio. It sounds really good. You know what the thing is? Like, I had somebody leave a comment yesterday about the audio quality, like the video that I did for this microphone, Rodecaster Pro. And it was like, yeah, but that's not too much different than the what do you call it? The standard stuff. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. I was like, because it doesn't take like large adjustments to get it right. And I was like, the 2 things that's important is your kind of voice and your environment that you are in with your voice, right? And then of course we can say the microphone, but in this case, we were already talking about the Shure SM7B. And so for my voice and the range that my voice is in is kind of like a mid mid tone, sometimes lower tone. It's just like, it's not in the upper higher region. It's just about mid to a little bit mid lower, right? So for my voice, it's like you have to listen to you. And so what I did when I was first getting the Rodecaster Pro, everything that I would do, much like how when I'm setting up a new camera or I'm learning a new camera, I'm sitting down and I'm recording. So I'm recording on the Rodecaster Pro and I'm talking through the things. Okay, this is at line 1. This is at line 2. This is at line 3. This is at Unity. This is all the way turned up. This is with the one switch up in this mode on the back of the Shure SM7B. This is with it in presence boost. And this is what it is, you know. And I'm like, from what I hear on the headphones, I prefer this one. So now when I take that over, I always drop my stuff into Final Cut Pro. That's even what I edit my podcast, the Video Simplified podcast. Leave a rating or review if you've checked it out. And that's what I go and I edit my podcast in there. And so when I'm listening to it and I'm like, what does that sound like? But, you know, I've actually had people to say, it's just like, your audio sounds terrible. And I'm like, forget you and the rings you close on the Apple Watch. All right. So no. Saying cut the clutter. My pet peeves is when I watch a video and they say, let's get right into it. And in 3 listen, comment of the century. Like, yeah, let's get right into it. And it's like, today's video, we're going to talk about our sponsor, Storyblocks. If you're looking for it, it's just like, nothing wrong with sponsorships. I'm not hating, but it's just like, and then you like, what gets me though, I'll watch like the sponsored segment because I'm like, this is free info. I watch and pay for YouTube Premium already. So they're going to get more on the watch time in that way. And if I'm trying to watch a video for an answer, I try to watch it all the way through. I want you to have, at least on my view, 100% success rate. And at the YouTube Red and stuff, like I try to max it. But my goodness, if I skip a couple times and I'm like, all right now, okay. It's just like the little kid at the front of the church growing up and they'd like, go ahead now, let him view you. It's just like, sit him down. It's like, just, he ain't getting there. He ain't getting to the point. It ain't happening. Just go and sit him down. We'll pray for him and let's move it right along because we're trying to get out of here by a decent hour at some point today. What's going on, James D. Buzzer? Good to see you, brother. Glad that you are here. What's up, Wayne Roberts? Good to see you. Miss Eileen, the incredible Eileen Smith. Shout out to Miss Eileen. Been doing the daggone thing for a long time. And actually was in your, I'm not sure the proper terminology for this yet, but you're in the Twitter Spaces room with you the other day. It's my first time, so checking out Twitter Spaces. It was really fun, actually. Really fun. Saying no countdown timer for me. I did it once, and I even skipped it when I rewatched the video. 100%. Saying that's great advice. I use a countdown timer for 2 minutes to sync the networks, but I like what you say about adding that extra chapter marker. Yeah, that definitely helps. Even if you don't have any others. It's just to say the stream starts here, or especially because, like, for example, a show like I did today starts right on the money, going through more or less like the lead up to the first slide or what have you, couple comments or what have you, and then gets to read out the main point. Okay, once it gets to Q&A, and first of all, I ain't, because some of these streams run, it runs for a while, and it just may say Q&A starts here. So if you don't want Q&A, you don't have to watch Q&A, but this also helps you as a creator when you go into the YouTube studio and you are looking through what is going on your live stream. You'll also be able to see through your audience retention graphics, like if you're trying to see what's working and what's not working in your live streams, when you add those channel chapters to what you're doing, then you can see exactly where most people go to if they're just jumping ahead. And where they're like, when they watch it, they're done. You see spike, boom, out of there. They're good from this segment to this segment. Or you maintain their attention for a segment, then it's boom, from here to here. And then you're good. You'll know what things your audience in that live stream was more interested in or not. Or if you see them jump to the Q&A, it's like the thing that I find is like, and here's why I say people will watch the live stream replay, but you have to have a show that's built out in a way that makes them want to watch. I don't consider myself like the most interesting person per se or whatever, but it's like, and I fully profess, full nerd here. But at the same time, I fully recognize that there are people that when they are washing the dishes or when they are doing laundry or whatever, Bluetooth headphones, you don't have to necessarily watch. You can listen. So I also can see those people that are on YouTube Premium. Did I say YouTube Red before? It's like YouTube Premium, whatever they're calling it now. I think it's Premium. It's like you can see who has that. That means they don't have to have the app open. They can close it and YouTube keeps playing. If you don't have YouTube Premium, get it, because it's the unlock to the unlock. 100%. Saying our live stream are all interviews, and we try to get to the guests in the first 15 minutes to give the audience the main event that they came in for, the 45 minutes to 60 minute show. And you know, it's okay, because once you develop a actual show flow, and it again, you can build out a show to more or less however you want it to be. It's just like these tips are especially for when you're new and in the beginning. It's especially for when you're trying to create a channel and you have a business, because you are proven in your business. You're proven in your space or your industry or niche. Even if you have a local brick and mortar location, you're proven there. You may be proven on Facebook, but it is a certain culture when you come to YouTube, and that social behavior that somebody has when they are watching channels, and you break that yes pattern. Is no different than in marketing and in business, especially if you have studied any kind of level of sales, and you get people in a repetitive yes pattern, and you say, don't you wish that you could just go through and do this, and they just stuck in that yes pattern, and they just like, you are the one that's breaking it. That is a very noticeable subconscious thing that happens, even consciously at times. And they just like, what? So when it's good audio, video after video, and then yours comes through room audio. What? What is this? Not so much so video quality. It definitely stands out when it's better, but audio stands out even more, because now they can't do the dishes and house chores and whatever else, or just, hang out, do whatever they're going to do, like straightening up and stuff, and listen to your show the same way you listen to radio shows. And radio shows feel like they go on for forever. And it's an entire morning show where they repeat the process of how they do the show flow and the show run. You can develop the show to however you want. And it's even like little funny segments and stuff, like where you expect certain things. So I used to listen to one of the morning shows, and they would yell out traffic in a really funny, crazy way or whatever, like a little chorus. But it's just like something that you came, or it's like, yeah, it is traffic time. And it's only for a few seconds. You got the little newscaster music or whatever, and you good. And you like, all right, that was traffic, not too bad. And just like you back to whatever the show flow is. So you can create a show dynamic that is whatever it is that you want, if it's interesting. And here's the thing, interest to the viewer has nothing about interest of the person. I have a monotone voice more or less. I'm very more or less plain Jane. You know what I'm saying? There's not any real aesthetics more or less that makes it seem, but the information and the why you came is the number one priority. I make that the priority. If you come to know, like, and trust me as a person or as an educator on the platform, now that's something that is developed over time. It's like, you know what, that's not too bad. Or I know what I can at least expect over here. Whereas on another channel, based on who they are and how they present information, you expect them to be super dynamic. Nobody told me to Purkinnon. That's pumpernickel. That's what I'm thinking. I don't even know why. But nobody told Peter McKinnon to say, what's up, everybody? This is Peter McKinnon is just like high octane. Even Cody Warner. They're not faking it. Like, you know what I'm saying? To me, in my mind, God bless them, I love them, but that is like where I would watch comedians, and it's like they do look like somebody didn't hit a line of coke and it's just like they are on. That's what that looks like to me. But if I was to do it, it would be like, Lord, no, it's just not my personality. It's just not who I am. I've already had to even furthermore be more animated than I would be normally, because if I just sat here and just like, yeah, so it's fine, if you're a new channel, you just want to make sure you do. But if that's you, that's you. But there is a level of becoming a bit more animated, if you will, of what feels animated to your normal self that comes across normal in person-to-person interaction. It used to be like the camera adds 10 pounds. The camera zaps about 50% of your energy. I don't know if it adds 10 pounds. It looks pretty accurate these days, but it's like, it definitely zaps about 50% of your energy. So whatever it is that is normal for you to do in person, you need to amp it up a little bit more. You don't have to be extremely high octane. And I actually get compliments on the channel about not being super high octane unnecessarily, whatever that means. But it's just like you have to give it a little bit more energy because of what's going to get zapped out so that you can come across normal. Just so you can come across normal. So you can build out your show to however you want it to look. But the thing is that whatever show it is that you develop, you have to now maintain consistency around that show flow for what people can come to expect, and know that you're honoring their time and you're moving the segments along because they, like, you know what I'm saying, they can know what to freaking expect. Because sometimes if you just winging it, my first few live streams here, Gino, good to see you. My first few live streams on the channel was not like this. It was not Q&A because there was nobody to talk to. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was nobody here. I had not earned it. I'm still building the channel. Even, let's say, sub 300 subscribers even, which is not a numbers thing, but just to let you know where I was in the journey. But I'm like, I need to build up this live stream muscle. I need to start getting used to it. I would come with slides ready. Didn't understand even more so the 50% rule, more or less, with the energy aspect. And so would just be sitting there. So I think one of the things that's important is that if you are going to recognize the date and the time when you're looking at your watch, I just think that it's really important. And just like, and you watch it and you like, ugh. If you watch your videos and you say, amp it up a little bit more, as if you were giving a presentation. That's the equivalent of what you would need to do on a live stream. It's just presentation. And more or less, if you're not used to giving presentations, live streaming is a fantastic way to build that muscle. I am a master at in-person live streams, even though I am a super introverted person, simply because I have done hundreds of them in my office, on live streams, on interviews, and things like that. Even more so, this was what was funny to me when I worked my 9-to-5 corporate job. I remember they were giving away, like, not giving away, but they were, if you were on the good kids list, more or less, or whatever, and it would always start with supervisors, and then it would work its way down for some things. They wanted you to give a presentation. And this is going to be very, very, very important because, like, so for example, some of y'all will see some of the things that I'm being listed as a speaker at, or in some instances, a keynote speaker, and just different things that you're going to start to see that's coming up. And these are in-person events, okay? In-person events. When you're doing a presentation online, it is really no different than when you're doing that presentation, with a few other metrics that you want to watch for when you are starting to do in-person things. When I had done probably 100 live streams or so. My supervisor was like going to get training from, I can't remember the organization, but they were going to teach them how to do public speaking. I whizzed my public speaking class, even when I wasn't doing it, but it would be so much more uncomfortable, heart racing like crazy, just like you could feel your heart beating your throat. But not that went away always, because it still is that level of expectations. Once you get there, it's just like, I'm in my stuff, I'm in it. But it was like, I remember we were having a one-on-one meeting, and he said, yeah, I'm getting ready. He was nervous, and he was like, they would film them doing a 5-minute presentation, and this was a week-by-week thing. And this is in corporate America for a Fortune 100 company, okay? So they are sitting there, they're filming them, and they all like, yeah, because, they look like they got the junk itch. Do you hear me? Scratching and hands in the pocket and just slumped down and just all this weirdo stuff. And he was like, yeah, man, I'm putting my hands in my pocket and I'm doing all these things. And so they're telling them, you see this, you see this, you see this. You don't notice that you're doing it, but your audience notices that you're doing it. Even looking into the camera lens, even like I know doing public speaking, I remember I had a mentor say, you need to be giving a presentation every week And furthermore, it's like, I don't care if you're looking at different parts of the furniture in the house and just pretending that you're looking at different people in the audience. You need to start giving presentations and start doing like this to start engaging. Like, how many of you starting to think about doing live streams in person? How many of you are starting to like practice, look around so you can start practicing looking at people in the room, making eye contact without freaking out. And once you find your go-to people in the room, you can, that are in there, they're in a yes pattern. You got them in the yes pattern. They're just like, they are on it. Every time you say something, how many people in the room are doing this, that, or whatever? They like, me. So now your audience engagement in person is good. Your audience engagement with your community on live streams is good. All these things are working out for you. But I remember, and he's like, yeah, I didn't do so great. Might want to practice, but might want to practice. Cheers from Peru. Good to see you. Fabian, is that right? Let me know. So question, your streams start at the scheduled time if the desired number of people aren't watching? They start as soon as they start. Like, I don't care. Here's the thing. I don't check for how many people are live. I only check to make sure that when I schedule the stream, if I'm doing it same day, that it's public and not like private or unlisted or something like that. Because then you literally are doing it to nobody. You're doing a stream with nobody there. The streams start when the stream starts. That's it. I don't check to say or wait for. I wait until it goes for a few seconds, like it's starting, and then it's just like, what's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. This is your hostess, the mostess, Diana Gladian. On this channel, we do, or whatever you're gonna say. Whatever you're gonna say. But more or less, have your intro ready to go of the things. Like today we're talking about this because one of the things that whatever, so whatever you're gonna say. So it starts regardless if nobody is there, even if nobody shows up, because that's the other thing. I've seen those embarrassing streams for friends and colleagues where they were waiting for a few more people and the few more people never showed up. What's up, Miss Finance? Good to see you. So yeah, it sometimes the few more people never show up. You got to be ready to go regardless, saying how to test the sound in a live stream. You don't test your sound in a live stream. You test your sound before you go live. You do an unlisted live stream, for example. Once you have your setup done, you're good. And then two, y'all can go back and watch the myriad of streams. They are all not perfect. And it's been times where audio went out. I can't remember what microphone I was using at the time. I think, it was a USB cable or something. It went out just midstream, or it was going in and out. And then you see the chat because people tell you like if your audio went out, or, oh, what's that noise, or blah, blah, blah. So you don't test it on the live stream. You test it before you start streaming so that people can get, acclimated with the audio levels and stuff like that when you're live. But you don't test it you test your streams before. So just do an unlisted or private stream. And just say, okay, I have my volume at 16, I have it at 17. For what I hear in my headphones, 16 sounds good. So that way, when you watch the replay of the private live stream, you can actually see as you're listening, if 16, maybe let's say in your ear sounded great, but 19 sounded best on the actual replay, you may need to tweak some things. So you don't test it actually live. Saying I get live is from the Doc Rock live merch. No, it's from Ecamm. It's not from the Doc Rock merch. Don't you dare correct me. I didn't know. I thought it was Ecamm. My bad, Doc. Saying no love. pressinso.com/ the Doc Rock with the big head. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go to Doc Rock's merch. Check a brother out. It's not that, that's another thing. Shout out to you, Doc Rock, because you got another piece of merch that I'm just thrilled to see here. All right, so let's go over yonder. This is Doc Rock's merch collection. Go to pressinso.com/Doc Rock. He has this new Intent and Purpose shirt. These are these shirts that just came out. So he has the I Am Creator shirts. Y'all see me rock the military green one that is dope. And what do you freaking know that I get live? I thought it was an Ecamm one. My bad. Hey, it ain't had your melon on it, so I ain't know whose merch or what. No, just kidding. But shout out to Doc Rock, and the purple edition is Vlogmas 2020. We had to get that 2021 ready, because it's going to be freaking Christmas before we know it. So let's see here. What's going on, Dr. Elo? Good to see you. Glad that you are here. EDI Love TV, good to see you. Glad that you're here. Saying, I run all live streaming for a major tech company. Countdown timers have in place for a reason, not just not on YouTube for the most part. And you know what? That's another thing. It's a great point that you bring up. And good to see you. Glad that you're here, by the way. The other thing is that if you're doing multiple streams, depending on what you're using, and once you run a few tests, if you're doing a live show, for those of you that are like using Restream or something like that, if you're doing something where you're multi-streaming or simulcasting, sometimes it does take a few seconds or whatever. But again, most of the time, like you said, for when you're doing a show for a tech company, is not just it has a reason. So that's another thing. If you're doing simulcasting, you may need about 59 seconds again, but test your stuff to see how long before something kicks in or whatever. One of the things that's good to do is just you can have as your main screen, instead of me being on camera, it would be like a countdown timer or whatever in the side even. And I'm counting along with it, 59, 58, 50, whatever. You go live and you see where each one of those kicked in. You can do private and unlisted streams on just about anything. Even on Instagram, you can't do a private or unlisted stream, but this is also not talking about mobile. But if you wanted to test something, for example, you can do it on an account that doesn't have any followers or whatever. Just create a dummy account. But it's like you're going to LinkedIn, Instagram, not Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, whatever. Just test when does each one kick in. Then you can kind of know, I only need about 55 seconds. So, yeah. So, let's see here. It's an example. If you're going live on a standard web page, web caching can occur, so you go live 25 minutes early to avoid. Yeah, not on YouTube. You don't need all that. It's different in network television or what have you, but yeah, but it's definitely not on YouTube for sure. Good morning, Kevin Cox. Good to see you, brother. Glad that you are here. Saying, okay, you always got me rethinking my ways. Just build out your show to make it your thing. As long as you do that, you're good to go. Saying, living life as a busy bee, Miss Eileen, good to see you. Saying, what's up, Diana? Glad I'm able to catch you live. Kevin Scott, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Saying, aloha, fam. This is awesome stuff. David Hunt in the building. Saying, thanks for sharing these gems, Lady D. My pleasure. My pleasure. Saying, nice. Glad you got a chance to check out Twitter Spaces. Also enjoying all the new features they're rolling out. I like the thing I like best about the Twitter Spaces is the reactions that you can give as the listener. So you can do like 100% or thumbs up or the laugh emoji and all those different things. And it just kind of pops up and it fades off and then it goes away for a few seconds. But then it's also funny because you'll see other people that are also laughing or agreeing or thumbs upping to a point that somebody else mentioned because it's relatable. So I did like that because you can also see other people that are kind of like in your camp, more or less. They agree with you. I think it's really cool. It's very interesting and very different for sure. So speaking of YouTube Premium, we use it to avoid ads for our kids and for us, but I wasn't sure how that helped creators. 100%. If you're watching YouTube Premium, it's like obviously your AdSense income is, especially when you get into the YouTube Partner Program, you are getting a percentage for skipped ads. Like you're getting income around the skipped ads. You're getting it for if you put on the channel where it's non-skippable ads and you have to watch the whole thing before you get to a video, pre-roll ads and all this other stuff. The other thing, if you are in the YouTube Premium, go take a look into, not in YouTube Premium, but in your YouTube Partner Program, go take a look and see what are some of the things that you are getting access to or that you are seeing in your income. And you will start to see people that are watching like on different devices. You'll see where they found you. You'll find all these different metrics and you'll also see that in there as well. I used to use live. So I used use my live show I did on Saturday to make a Monday short to video uploads this week. Very helpful chopping up the live stream to add to content creation. 100%. Nice thumbnail picture there, by the way. Saying premium is the truth. Listen, that's how they get you. They get you stuck. I'll take YouTube Premium over Netflix. Personal choice. Simply because I watch way more YouTube. then I do Netflix. But if I had to choose, I take YouTube Premium all day long. It just is nice to start the video when you want to start the video. No mid-roll things, even for videos that's hella long. I follow, like, what is it? The Discovery Channel. It's a few other channels that are like that, History Channel and stuff like that. And they'll put 30, 40-minute programs or episodes of a program on there. And so I was watching one that they were talking about just how, well, I'm not gonna get into the topic, but they were talking about different things on there, whatever. It's like a 45-minute thing. I watched it beginning to end, no interruptions and nonstop, and then watched it a second time just because it was good. So yeah, 100%. I'm learning something new every day. 100% saying, when do you think you should start greeting and saying hello to the live viewers? What I like to suggest is you have a couple options when you're doing that. If you are going to recognize the viewers, I like to, one, give a general intro period that also speaks to them. When you have your chat open and you see that people are popping in, I like to acknowledge who's there for, as you know, as quick, what's going on, such and such, what's going on, this person, what's going on, this, good to see you, glad that you're here, this, that, or whatever. I give it a few seconds, but like, I don't keep just saying like an exhaustive like hello, because as new people keep coming in and more people come in, it'll constantly, but I dedicate time to that to beginning. If it's something more or less like where I have something to talk about, specifically a dedicated topic, then I'll say hello to those first few people that I'm seeing that are there within the fold of my screen. It's not gonna take too long. And then I'm going right back into the topic because I'm designating time. I'm gonna go through the content, so maintaining the integrity of the replay. So the viewer that wants to watch just the core section, they can do that without interruption. And then I'm also going back to the chat. So everybody's going to get acknowledged. And that's the other behavior with your live streams that you can start to develop a trust with your community, is that they will be acknowledged. I don't just skip maybe going straight to the bottom. I'll go through and I'll answer. And it may be a 30-minute gap even, depending on where that comment came in at or how much is going on in the chat before I get to or whatever. But it's just like, especially like last year going through and we developed the helpcast, it's just like to make sure everybody got the help. And even if you couldn't stay, maybe you had to go back to work, pick your kids up, whatever, and you couldn't stay in the chat, it's like, you know, your question still got answered and you could come back to the replay. That was also something that was honoring. So I appreciate you being here. You can leave your question. If you got to bounce, it'll still get answered. Just scroll until you see your thing, your comment on the screen. So that's the thing. But I acknowledge in the beginning. If I have a core message, I give the core message, and then we go into Q&A, and we're only in the chat at that point. So yeah, got it. Thanks so much. Oh, you're talking to Miss Eileen. All right, let's see here. I'm glad y'all having a nice convo in the chat here. Okay. So apparently it's a family reunion happening around these parts. Say, I'm missing Diana's funny Sony. Listen, I, as far as the Instagram reels, I know I was starting to get there when I had to call my friend and I'm like, I need to make a bruise on my face with makeup for this skit that I want to do. And it's just like, okay. I was like, what should I buy exactly? I'm like, I think I know the colors, because when I was in the Thespian Society, or once you're in for life. Well, I was joining the Thespian Society. I had to dress up like Tina Turner and do a skit as Tina Turner. And we also had an Ike Turner. And I had to go around campus in school and do Rolling on the River at different parts. And so I needed bruises at that point. But my aunt, I think, or it was my aunt or my cousin that did my makeup or whatever. But I had like this big black eye, like a bruise on the arm. Like, it was excessive. All right. So, but I'm like, okay, I want to do the skit where the camera beats up the other camera or whatever. And y'all can see all those on Instagram. You'll see those Instagram reels. You can see a few on YouTube shorts here, but yeah, it's like that last one was a bit excessive, but I was like, I needed a bruise or whatever. I wish I had a little bit more makeup skills to kind of make it a little bit more dynamic, but it conveyed the point. The crap was hard to get off too. For sure. All right. Alrighty. Saying it's my biggest issue. I almost never look into my camera, and it's noticeable. I started watching a video earlier today, someone else, and the whole time you could just see very awkwardly looking at a whole other spot. And even on your phone, like, so this is looking into the camera lens. This is not looking into the camera lens. Even though it's not that far below the lens, you can still tell that I'm not looking at the lens. And not because I'm telling you, but because it's noticeable. So if you're on your phone, if you have GoPro or something, you look at the lens on the front. Whereas on the phone, it is super easy to do because you just look at yourself and it doesn't look weird to you because you're looking at you. So, but yeah, it's like to look into the lens is to look into more or less making eye contact with the people and that you're talking to them. So even on like live streams and interviews, like I've got asked, like, do you use teleprompters? Like, no. I got 5 years experience of looking into the lens. It's like, well, how do you know facial expressions? I'm like, well, one, you have peripheral vision. Two, the camera is far away enough I couldn't see them no way. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't see them no way. So the other thing also is you can occasionally glance over or something like that, grasp those facial expressions, but hearing is everything. You can, if you empathize with people on the phone that you can't see, you can empathize with somebody, you know, just through listening to them as well. It's just like people make expressions more than just in facial expressions or whatever. So, but yeah. Shout out to David Hunt saying 32 watching, 24 likes. Get those likes going. 100% hit the like button. Smash it. That's perfect. Great Spanish. Thank you. I don't know much, but when I do say something right, I do say something right. Saying live streams really help me to be more engaging and to get to the point. I am more prepared. That's awesome. And beautiful thumbnail, by the way. I love your your earrings, not your ears, your earrings. They look dope. But yeah, it's like it helps tremendously, especially if you can't watch your replay. Other people can't watch your replay. You know, what's going on is that Lim music or Lim music. I don't know. Saying hi there. Good to see you. Glad that you are here. Alrighty. Coming near. Let's see here. Thanks for the elaborate answer. 100%. Saying Diana Gladney, you can also test your audio when you go live in the LGL Facebook group. That is 100%. That is a great point. Even before I would do something like that, I still test it privately. But here's the thing. So we have the Let's Get Live Facebook group. And if you go to, I think I know I set up a link for it. Dinah.link / Let me make sure it works. Yep. I'll just throw the Facebook group link in there. So we have the group. I just dropped that in the chat. So if you are trying to work through something, and people do this all the time. So this is not like where you're going to stick out like a sore thumb kind of a deal. But if you want to, you can go over here to the Let's Get Live Facebook group. Okay. And you will see we currently got 614 members. And we have all kinds of stuff. We got a weekly thread. You want to get your video some love in here, you can drop that in here. We have also where people are asking questions, or even like Vaughn had some new merch through Press and Sew that just dropped for his brand. So we got Charles, got a new show that's coming out and actually doing some really amazing things, new gear, a lot of different stuff. But people also have on here where they are sharing their actual live stream because they're working through something. This was Doc in the midnight hour unboxing something. You know, it's like I want to get footage, whatever. So people go live and they ask, like, I'm having this issue. You got Kali that's asking questions in here in the group, and that stands out. So you can make sure you get help if you need help, if you want a Facebook group. So the group is dope. My apologies for not plugging that sooner, but shout out to Miss Eileen in the building. I accidentally clicked on that one. I meant to skip it. No, I'm just skipping. All right. No, this ain't no Wheel of Wonder week. Saying at least play the music. David, we need to get you help, brother. Deliverance. Okay. Deliverance. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Hold up. My bad. Okay. I'm scrolling back up, but this one distracted me. This comment. All right. Hold up. I was caught up. Saying shout out to Diana and Doc, hashtag Let's Get Live. Good to see you, Earl. Glad that you are here. Saying, so if a new live streamer is streaming about, say, dark chocolate shoes they use, first of all, that channel shouldn't even exist. All right. If they are streaming about freaking dark chocolate, they just need not to have a show. All right. I'm just saying it is what a TI is. They just need not to be here. We don't even need that kind of energy on these interwebs. But starting trouble as always. That's no issue. What's up, John? Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Alrighty, saying, what is the best audio setting system, software or hardware mixers? How to know the best audio settings for your voice? That's a great question. I'm not sure I have a good answer for you because everybody's voice is different. But what I would say is this, is that you have to make sure that when you are doing stuff for audio and you're trying to like get your stuff good, you have to make sure that you find once you find a microphone that you want to get, watch a few videos, not for the technological examples per se, but somebody that has a voice like yours. Let's say mid-range, lower-ish kind of voice, whatever. Just listen to how their voice kind of sounds. I like the Rodecaster Pro. I don't think everybody should probably get one per se just because to have one, but I do like the fact that it has a lot of the audio engineering type stuff, and it's very simple, very easy to use, and it works with your computer stuff, connections with your phone in a very simple and easy way. It definitely earned its price tag, and they keep doing regular and consistent updates. That being said, I would just say listen to what somebody's doing, but then also if you do have something like the Rodecaster Pro, or that's something that you do want to get, you have to listen to your voice. You know what I'm saying? You could obviously go to a studio somewhere and let them tweak it or whatever, but I just think you need to listen to your voice. Does it sound accurate? Does it sound like how you want your stuff to sound? And just kind of go that way. You know, that's at least my recommendation, because you know if something sounds true to your voice or very different. Shout out to Book of Alpha Rami. Appreciate you, brother. Glad Gang representing. Heard that. Saying my live stream setup is separate from my content. So, saying advanced, I know, but something to work toward for workflow smoothness. I agree with you on that one, because the thing about this is when I'm doing this, it has a certain kind of look. You know what to more or less expect. I know I can use this microphone, this setup, this camera, all that kind of a stuff. So be it. But it does feel nice to go do something else. And so when you want to go, for those of you that may, like say you got a dedicated space, or you just want to test different angles out, if you have what's called gaffer's tape, then you can go, like pretty sure I can pull this up on Amazon. And even Amazon, Amazon, is it? I'm trying to think what brand it was that I got gaffer's tape through. Yeah, Amazon Basics. I'm like, Amazon has a brand, I'm sure. So Amazon Basics here, gaffer's tape is amazing, because what it'll let you do is you can put it on just about any surface, wood, metal, carpet, and it truly does not leave any residue. The only thing that it sticks to, even like if you got cables or whatever, the only thing that it sticks to that is hard to get it off of is itself. So if you got a sticky side to sticky side, you might as well just cut it, because it's going to be ridiculous trying to get it off. And that's good if you want to work on, like, once you set your tripod in your place, for those of you that are trying to get like up to 2 setups like Book of Alpharonomy's talking about, put gaffer's tape. So you got certain kind of floors, maybe you got them waxed, or certain kind of carpet, you don't want to pull the fibers. Gaffer's tape is perfect for this. And this is what gets used in the industry, not the necessarily Amazon Basics one, but just gaffer's tape in general. And so what you can do is mark the tripod placements for where you're at. I've even gone so to the extent, when I was getting started early on, to put a piece of gaffer's tape on where the tripod height would be. So I'm like, okay, stop right there. Don't go any higher or lower or whatever. That way I could always duplicate. And that goes into what I teach is like the record to edit process. You want to come up with that set it and forget it kind of way. Gaffer tape is great for that. To mark placements for that, for where you need to set stuff up. But if you do want a different live streaming setup than your regular stuff, that's a good way to start doing that too. So shout out to you there. Moulane TV, I think, saying hello there. Good to see you. What is going on, JFK Productions? Glad that you are here. And saying nice super chat. I know, it's $50. $50. Alrighty. Okay, hold on. I'm catching up. Hold on. I'm trying to read this, but okay. Saying users looking at YouTube Premium like sucker. Sorry, no. I know it's sketchy, but couldn't resist. I don't think it's sketchy. You know what I'm saying? I just think I think it's good. I'll put it that way. I think it's good because it's like no ads. You are just having a fantastic time. What's the big deal? What's the big deal? Skip past it. It's like I at first thought was just like, I remember when it first came out, I think it was like YouTube Red, or what I think it was called YouTube Red at the beginning, but I don't know what the segmentation is because you can get like cable channels and stuff like that, but it's like, meh, no biggie. But yeah, it's like, I'm like YouTube Red, pay for ads or skip to pay for. I'm like, nah. But it's like once somebody puts that on your radar, you start to notice it. The more ads, and you just like, I'm wasting so much time just waiting for that skip button to show up. I'm like, the hell with this. I ain't even being bothered. Saying YouTube Premium also gives you Google Play Music. Oh, that's true. I don't use it a lot. If I'm getting to make, let's say like a 40+ minute drive or something, then I'll kick that on or something. But I like the fact that that's a thing. But I think they're still trying to figure that out because they just discontinued some aspect of it, but I don't know. But I think it's like its own app now. You can kind of listen to it and it'll kind of try to convert you over or whatever, but it's all good. Saying that fella needs to be canned. It's like, oh, yeah, can't gotta worry about that. It is what it is. It's like, so just join who needs to be canned. Oh, it's like, I don't know, one of those characters up there. So, which I can't trip off of that stuff. No biggie. Haters gonna hate. Was it Roberto Blake said you need to be on your JOB like my haters do or something, he said on a recent stream of his or whatever. But I can honestly say I don't have haters. There are definitely dumb people in the world, but I don't think I have haters like that. It's like, it is what it is. Saying, yeah, and then we're back to here. Like I said, I clicked on that earlier. Said thank you so much. They're from my collection booby brand. Okay, so I don't think you can drop a link in the, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can't drop a link in the chat. However, neither here nor there, but your stuff looks amazing. Love what you're doing. So Joshua Verwer is in the house, taking care of business. Appreciate you, brother. Glad that you are here. Alrighty. Saying yes, gaffer's tape is amazing. I always have a white roll and a black roll, expensive but worth it. Well, according to Amazon Basics or Amazon.com. So I usually get the black one, but I guess if you need the white one or whatever, either way, this stuff is amazing. It's amazing stuff. I was just sharing how on the Let's Get Live this weekend live stream show that we have on the channel, I was just sharing how Post-it notes, can't even pick the whole thing up. Post-it notes, the glue on the back was an accident. It's like, so I'm sure gaffer tape probably has a similar story or something that along that lines, but it's very interesting. It's like, the point with the story was like, don't discount your failures always as failures, because you never know what that can turn into. And the person was trying to develop something that would eventually be something like what do you call it? Gorilla glue kind of a deal, like this, like it sticks and it, you know, that kind of adhesive, and it wind up being, it would stick, but it would come right back off, but it wouldn't leave any kind of residue and stuff like that. So hence Post-it notes, or the glue for the back of the Post-it note strips. So yeah, that stuff is dope. Genevieve Verwer's in the house. Miss Flawless, everybody. Let me see. Do I have even vlog footage of the official GenevieveVerwers.com? Saying no questions, but just wanted to say hey to my girl. Keep being a rock star. I appreciate you, Jen. You're awesome. Love you guys so much. Saying I stopped fighting with tripods. Just got a TV monitor mounts and converted them with. That is smart. Do we see new studio builds coming to a theater near you? That's very smart. I know some friends have gotten the desk arm mounts for the live streaming setup and stuff. So my friend India, she just moved into her home, so she's kind of redesigning her stuff. And so like she has those monitor arms that are desk clamp kind or what have you. But that is very smart though. I wanted to for some of these walls, but it's just not me out here in these streets. So saying, what's the minimum amount of time one should be live as a new YouTuber? As long as it needs to be. The live streams only ever got as long as this because of the community. But and when I noticed, here's one thing that I noticed about myself when I was first starting a live stream is the fact that there would be like a 40-minute live stream where maybe one or two people popped in for a second and then they disappeared, was not like no comments or nothing. And I'm like, why am I 44, 45 minutes going on long here? So you can do like I think the right timing is enough for you to deliver, because again, you're still building and developing trust. So when you start the live streams, it can be a 5, 10, even 15-minute live stream, because to the replay viewer, that's no different. It's different with it live because you don't know how long the live is going to go for. Just like the first time we did the 5-hour live stream on this channel, I was delirious by the time it ended. I'm like, but once we got past 3, I'm like, we going for the gold. I'm going for 4. And then kept going 4 hours later. And I'm like, the hell with this. I'm hitting 5. Like I have a goal. One day I wanted to hit 5. Today must be that day. But initially, I think that goal needs to be 5, 10, or 15 minutes long. Because on the replay, it's the replay viewer, to the person that may be new to you or your channel, that there is no really social evidence of a community more or less built yet. It's still being developed. You still got to earn that time. So a 5-minute live stream is cool because it's no different. They was like, you know what, that's not that bad. And then they see another one. Hey, what's up, guys? Today we're talking about this, now, or whatever different thing. Or it's like, what's up, creators? What's up, entrepreneurs? Usually how I address my community. And we go into the thing. It could be a 5, 10 minute or 15. Now, if I did that, y'all be mad at me. She left. She ain't even say hi. Right? It's like somebody walking in your house going in straight to the kitchen. It's like, what the hell's wrong with you? So because of that, it's like if I left now and didn't say anything to the chat, or just they would like, that was weird. It's like, why she ain't say hi? Or I had a question. So now the culture is different because the community is steadily growing, but a community culture has been developed. So when you're still developing 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever it takes to just give your points, have your things. You don't have to, like, if you take a look here, these are not super hard to do. I go to blackillustrators.com because I love to use their graphics in addition to, I love to use Canva. So even if you see me do a regular presentation, if I'm allowed to use like my slide guide, this is my version of that. Like I use my own slides. So if I'm doing this, I have my brand fonts, my brand colors. I have certain elements that I like and stuff like that. So it's not anything, excuse me. It's like, it's not anything that's too super complicated, but that's just, it suits me. Everybody's stuff is different. And even early on, it's like I would buy, like, what do you call them? Presentation slides or whatever, just trying to find like my lane of like what suits me. And then it's like, this is me. So this is my stuff now. So that took time to develop, but more or less you just got a couple ones, try to make it interesting or whatever. I'm not a person that shies away from emojis or things that may be interesting, but like this kind of a graphic or whatever, I love to use blackillustrations.com. And I just think he does an amazing job with his packs and stuff like that. So I can add these illustrative elements to it and keep it moving. And then when I'm done, I'm coming back to the full screen or what have you. Or like I said, I have these where it is less slide dominant and it's more camera dominant frames to still give you this image or to still give you this kind of a thing. And we move on and come back to here. So that kind of a thing, just keep it, you know, on the point and move on. And then as you get more people that are asking questions, now you have a Q&A kind of a thing. It's like, and that was the thing that changed everything for me. When I started getting people to show up to the live stream, I had earned it. Like, it wasn't because I asked. It wasn't because I promoted it or whatever, because you can definitely do those things and encourage people to come, but also work on your titles. That's also helpful as well when you're coming up with a live stream that you want people to engage with. Because if you can't just do like a Ask Me Anything or a Q&A, because you don't have an audience developed to ask you questions yet. But as you are getting people to come, you have to build out interesting topics that are not closed-ended topics, which would say, is the Shure SM7B a waste of money? That would be a live stream topic that I would use to leverage asking the question, and versus saying the Shure SM7B is trash. Now I got people coming to the stream ready to fight because they like, you crazy. And before I even say anything, all they looking at is the title, and they're being combative to the title, where that can be a sense of engagement, but I ain't trying to, it's like, I try not to do gimmicky stuff in that way. It's like, but because I'm opening up the door for conversation, where initially I didn't like the Shure SM7B, but I hadn't optimized it for my voice yet either. But I'm like, if I'm just comparing this straight out the box to the Q2U, I like the Q2U. And that is still true. But this microphone is not built for straight out the box. It's built to be curated around a voice, which is why it's been an industry standard, because it's flat enough. You can adjust it for just about any voice and make it sound great. That's the point of it. So the more I learned about the microphone, but I would pose it in that way. Is the Shure SM7B a waste of money? And in that presentation, perhaps then I would have different stuff prepared. But the more that you build out a title that is interesting to the community that you're hoping to show up, people are now coming like, is it? I've been wondering about that too. You want to join the conversation that's already happening in the mind of your community or your intended community, the person that you're hoping to, connect with or what have you. So that's the thing too. It's like some of the titles are off when it comes to that. And that's a great point. We'll probably talk about that on a different day, but I think that's something that's important. Saying YouTube Premium allows you to download on mobile for watching later. And this is fantastic when traveling. I don't know if anybody's been traveling recently. I have, and it was amazing as always. I don't like that the planes is more crowded now because they didn't messed up the connecting flights and all of that. You got to do overlays. Can we get back to the one flight kind of a deals? I don't want to do layover, change planes, and none of that. But yeah, it's amazing. So saying, Ms. D, you read it wrong. It's YouTube Advanced. It's an Android. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. I tell y'all all the time, some of these things I don't know. Just like it was in India was going off about something. It was in a group chat, and we was all in the group. So all of us that are in the Let's Get Live chat, the admins and stuff, we have a chat and things like that just to keep stuff going, but also like a friendship now has been developed. And so she was talking about something, and like you can see when somebody sees the bubble, like they saw the comment or they read it or they reacted to it or whatever. And she put a second message underneath. Some IKR stands for I know right. That's for @Diana. And I'm like, thanks for letting me know, because I don't know all of those terminologies and whatnot. But it was something else, but it was funny. But it's just the idea. I don't know all the time. So I probably did read it wrong. I'm pretty sure I did. So I said, I love YouTube Premium so much. So I signed up on 2 accounts, accidentally overpaid for months, but don't mind it at all. That is one thing. It's like I have like a personal account. I have an account for business stuff, just to make sure the things that YouTube feeds to, like, if I'm interested, like I said, a lot of History Channel stuff and all that, I want you to give me more of things like this on that account, but I'm staying industry specific, topic specific on this account. And so it's like, I want to watch those uninterrupted, but I've definitely thought about it. I'm like, man, YouTube finna get me for all my little pennies. I'm like, this is just ridiculous but it's good. It is that good. It's the jam. So I love YouTube Premium with all my heart. Said I can't live without it and will never go back. I heard that right. The white gap tape works great for labeling as well. Nice Sharpie writes on it perfectly. Very nice. Good to know. Anybody do live podcast streams and then upload them to Anchor? Miss Eileen actually has the Anchor show where she does a lot of live stream stuff. So what's interesting is I'm currently hiring an editor. So I have more interviews. I had interviews yesterday, interviews today, interviews tomorrow. So then I'll be able to see who I want to hire based on those interviews. And hopefully I still got a few more people that are lined up, but we'll see if we need to continue that on into the following week. I'm hoping not. And so based on that, I will have an editor that can crank out content faster than I can with just the workflow. But that was something that I was doing for a time, but it just is like the live stream dynamic for me personally and the podcast dynamic is slightly different. But here's the thing. If you're using something like Ecamm, you have the isolated audio track. So if you listen, there's music playing in the background, right? You hear it louder now, so turn it up. Okay, so that music that's playing, just to give something to cover the silence, if you will, in the background. But I also don't want that in my podcast. I don't want that in the, you know what I'm saying? It's fine for the live stream, but with Ecamm, you have isolated audio tracks. A lot of tools now are giving you isolated audio tracks. You can do it live, but you have to designate how you want to do it. I like how there's a video creator. What is this channel called? With Tim Schmoyer? Video Creators, I think his channel is called. But he does his podcast. He started doing it in a live format. And there are other creators that are here that do it. Joshua Verwers is a great example of that as well. He does his where it is a live podcast and then uploads it later. So it's definitely possible. You don't have to rip the audio. You already have the isolated audio track. So the audio of you talking is different than that of the music. And so you can do that. Or let me pause the live stream music. So this is another thing on the Rodecaster Pro. That's cool. I have on here my podcast and stuff intro. So if I want to do a video version, which sometimes I'll release that to the Video Simplified community. So similar to channel memberships, but a little bit better because it's different. But I'll have on here. So for example, here's my podcast intro. Are you an entrepreneur just getting started in creating video content for your business? Okay, so that is on the Rodecaster Pro. So I can play that, or I can have it where it's built in. So matter of fact, I can show you the behind the scenes look at this so you can see what's going on. So this is what my Ecamm live studio looks like. And so this is the stream mix that I have up here. I can swap the songs. So when it gets into like the holidays, I have like Christmassy tunes that I like and stuff like that. And so that's over here. But when I have my buy me a coffee stuff, I do all this stuff in Ecamm. Like 90%, if not 95.9899% of the videos I do is using Ecamm Live. My and it comes right in. So any of the buy me a coffee stuff for the Video Simplified community, the intro is there. If I have my podcast. Are you an entrepreneur just getting started in creating video content for your business? Or have you been creating it for a while and it's just not hitting the way that you want it to? Welcome to the Video Simplified podcast. My name is Diana Glad. All right, so we don't have to let that play all the way through. But all that stuff is there. So depending on how you build out your show, you can have it where that stuff is already baked in if you want to do it like audio version, or if you want to do it in a video version and stuff like that and have it baked in. And the way that I do this within Ecamm is that if I have the buy me a coffee intro, that's this portion that's here. That's going to play. And so what happens is, because it's going to mute me, it's supposed to do that. What happens is once that plays, it is designed to go to another scene that is quote unquote the just me scene. The just me scene is to just be me. It's not going to have anything else on the screen. If I want to have, like, let's say we do some kind of a unlisted private live stream here where it's kind of like this, but only this, which we haven't done. We usually do Zoom calls so everybody can come on and, you know, we go through Q&A and stuff like that. So that's available, but otherwise it would be like, or a chat message is there. Also have where other stuff is going on for different streams, different shows. What are you, an entrepreneur just getting started in creating? Okay, so you see how that worked? It's the podcast that is going to play to the end. That's the full podcast intro. That will do the whole intro kind of a thing. If you listen to the podcast, you're subscribed, you've heard that before. When it gets to the end, that scene is designed to go to me next. It's to another just me screen. So when it's over, it's over. Then if I want to play on the Rodecaster Pro, depending on what I'm doing, I don't think I've brought it into here yet, but depending on what I'm doing, then I can start playing my music that plays when I'm starting to get to the end of my show. That's traditionally how I would do my show. Usually you can kind of hear some of that music, and then it's going to ramp up to get louder. And then I have even just like the isolated voice audio for me to come in. So was that helpful? Did you get some tips out of that? Did you get something that you can implement? And so it doesn't matter how you want to do it. You can slice this all kinds of different ways here, whether you got the Rodecaster or not. But 99.99% of the stuff I do is going to be in Ecamm in some form or fashion, even down to the live stream with the scenes and the slides, or showing you the stuff on the internet. All that stuff is there, even down to my other live stream show. So I have my pre-stream. So this is for my other channel. That is the Let's Get Live channel for my other company. So I have all those elements and stuff like that. That's packed in on the other one. Have one for David, one for Doc, one for the two of us, any kind of B-roll that we want to bring in, stuff like that, depending on how that show rolls. I don't always host the show from my computer. It may be David, it may be Doc. But on the instance that I have it, depending on what we have planned, I build that show out to fit that stream so that it works that way. Or if I want to go to something, again, that's more frame dominant for me, less frame dominant for the presentation slide or whatever, then I can do that and come back to the just me. So I use Ecamm, as y'all know. Links is down in the description. Diana.link/Ecamm Live if you want to get a free trial. But I use Ecamm for every aspect of my content creation, even so much so the standard operating procedures for my company. So for the assistant, for the video editors, the what to do and the how to do it, that is recorded in Ecamm. I don't have to do anything else. So if I say, hey, can you place an order for gaffer's tape? Here's how you place an order with the company card or whatever. Then I can go to the me with the screen and say, this is the brand that we want to use. But when you click on it, you want to check for this or blah, blah, blah. And make sure you have the Honeycomb app installed to know about any deals that we use or whatever, blah, 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 kind of a thing. And when I'm done, I hit the finish button, or there would be it'd be finished because that's what it is now since I'm streaming. But once that's done and it's gone, it's gone. Like, that's the end of the training. I don't have to do anything else. 99.99% of the stuff I do is going to be using Ecamm. It's just super simple. Saying you wouldn't have been delirious if you had some dark chocolate. First of all, I hit the wrong button. This is what I meant. First of all, you get delirious from eating dark chocolate. It must have been somebody with some dark chocolate on their breath, all right? Or something like that. Would have been delirious. Psht, have you know, good sir. Saying the visit of American Kitchen could be exciting for me. Wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be bad. All right, so let's sketch up here. Question, who looks better in that t-shirt that you're wearing, me or Corey? Yep, that's the current live stream shirt until we're finished development with Sylvia and Andrew on them. I don't know. I haven't seen yet. We'll have to check it out. We'll be right back after these messages. And Diana said that. No, I did not say that. I did not say that. So, so mind your business. Got it? Mind your business. Keep it together. 10 video creators. Yeah, Tim Schmoyer does that with their podcast. Yep. So that's a good example of that. Oh, we got the Marshall Fox. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Glad that you're here. Coming in at the tail end. So I wonder if you're using the Rodecaster Pro. Oh, yeah. So if you have joined any of the Clubhouse rooms that I've been in, when we are ending the show, you hear this music. Because it's the end of the show. Like at that point with the whatever to close it out on Clubhouse, And so I have the Rodecaster Pro set up for that. So if I'm like, all right, y'all, we about to shut down the room. Thanks for joining us here on Clubhouse. And we finna go. If you have questions, don't ask them because we're finna leave, like or whatever. So that's another thing. The other thing is that I also have other music on here that I like as well. I'll add music on here. So this is one that I've recently added that I like to listen to, but I don't like something that smooth as the intro or whatever. I may add something like this as the intro of the Clubhouse room, and that's plugged into my phone. All the Rodecaster stuff goes directly into my phone. So I like this to start off with a room, to open it up. If you are subscribed to the channel or you've been in one of the Clubhouse rooms, you've heard this before or something similar. This is one that y'all hear on Doc's channel a lot. It's also a good track to have on there. Have some music playing with lyrics. So different stuff that you can do, but yeah, you can absolutely do that. And it's awesome with the Rodecaster Pro, for sure. So time for cooking. Where is my headphone listening to live streaming cooking? I like that. 100% saying, listen, and this is where we're ending the stream because apparently I'm getting disrespected on my own show. Thanks for joining us on this week's live stream where people talk about dark chocolate, and I am not disrespectful. It's great. Thank you for generosity. My pleasure. I'm sick of it. JFK Productions. We're out of here. Peace out, y'all. Have a good weekend.